Hey, it's Sanchino Plays here with yet another video. And this time, it's actually going to be a summoning video for the first time in a hot minute, so this is going to be exciting. So today we're going to be sparking for the new mythic hero ELIMINE, or ELIMINE. I cannot remember for the life of me how you pronounce her name, but because I have this little goal to try to collect all of the mythics, and so far have succeeded, and because I actually have FEH Pass, I'm going to be sparking for her as well. And in the meantime, the intention is to maybe talk about some of the other heroes on this banner, while also answering some questions that I got from members of my Discord server, which if you aren't already a member, you should definitely join. I feel like I could make this a fun time as well. So without further ado, and without dragging on this introduction much longer, let's start with the summons for ELIMINE. So just to clarify, I am going to be summoning on every orb that I find. Let's lower the volume here real quick. I am going to be summoning on every orb that I find, only because I have the ability to spark for her, but there are other units on this banner that I think would be worthwhile to obtain. Namely things like Aether or Ashera, who I could use merges for. Starting off the free summons, we have a 3-star Thea, which is not great. Otherwise, other heroes on this banner that I would say would be welcome. Peony, ironically enough, is someone that I would be fine in summoning because I have no merges on my copy at the moment. Oh! We get World of Thracia Olwyn. That's fun, I think. Yeah, I guess that's fun. I don't use her at all, but who knows? Maybe this is the universe telling me to get some use out of her. So we got a 5-star on our second summon. That's great. But yeah, I think right now, most of the units on here would either be merges, unless it's something like Volk, who is more than likely going to be lethality fodder for the next time I summon a dagger unit that I end up wanting to invest into. Speaking of dagger units, currently at the time of recording this video, Hall of Forms is out, and I did actually manage to get lethality on the Forma Dorothea, so I am going to be using my Forma Soul on her. So that's going to be fun to use in Anima Season, where she can actually reach pretty high amounts of HP. So let's complete the first circle with a blue orb. Who knows, maybe I'll get that Peony merge. See the smoke. And it's a Sully. Okay, well, I don't think so. Most of the units that I end up summoning are probably going to become feathers. There's only a handful of units that I'm saving for fodder or as potential merge projects. Ooh, we got 4 colorless orbs. Let me start with the green just to get it out of the way. I also want to talk a little bit about ELIMINE. I think that she looks disgusting. As a unit, I think she looks absolutely disgusting. It turns out, and at the start of this video, it turns out that skills like Odd Recover aren't really removing the false start effect that her staff gives in the way that's intended. At least right now, at the time of recording this video, it seems that the main issue is the fact that even if you remove the Odd Recover, the false start, effect from a unit, the skills that would trigger at the start of turn, like they're supposed to trigger in that moment, but they're not, which completely shuts down things like infantry pulse setups and removes Catria balls from existence, basically, assuming the other person has an ELIMINE on their team, on their Astra team. So I think that it is absolutely disgusting that, and it went a little bit too far, the implementation of this skill. And, you know, Odd Recover triggers almost way too soon. It's like even the Odd Recover skill isn't triggering. I don't know. I don't know the exact specifics of it. All I know is that right now we don't have an actual counterplay to ELIMINE. So I think that this is absolutely gross. I don't like where this is going, the direction that Anima and Astra Season is taking. But, you know, who knows, maybe we'll see some actual counterplay in the future. Okay, so I just had to pause for a quick second because I realized that I hadn't turned off notifications on, on my phone. So we had to just turn those off, pause for a second. But yeah, I think ELIMINE's disgusting. It's going to be great in the hands of the player, but for those of us who are trying to have good defense matches on Anima Season, it's going to be really difficult to counterplay her, considering the fact that anyone with FEH Pass will be able to get an almost guaranteed copy of her. So it's really unfortunate that IS went just this far in creating a unit, but we just gotta do whatever we can to try to have some form of counterplay to her. That's enough ranting about ELIMINE, though. I'm gonna save those two colorless orbs for the end of this circle. I do want to take a look at some heroes, or not heroes, some viewer questions from the Discord server. So without further ado, let's get started on those. The first question comes from False Sense, and he asked, what characters do I think we'll see as Ascended's units, and which ones I would like to see? As far as which characters are concerned, I'm not entirely sure. Joshua being an Ascended unit did catch me off guard. Then again, I'm not entirely certain what his importance to the story is overall in Sacred Stones. But my theory is that if, a character that is not the main protagonist like Joshua or even Faye, who got a legendary alt late last year, I don't think that a lot of characters are off the table for Ascended alts. Obviously, I may be biased, but I would absolutely love to see an Ascended Silas alt, but I feel like that is very unlikely considering he was more of a kind of a minor character in a way in Fates. Not even like well, he is technically a retainer to Clorin, but it's like, I don't think that he's likely to get an Ascended alt. Other than that, I'd say Ascended Chrom or Ascended Lucina would be amazing to see, because Awakening is also one of my favorite Fire Emblem games personally. Or Ascended Marth, because why not give the OG an Ascended alt, right? So thank you so much, False Sense, for that very good question. And then let's take a look at a question by Emerald Sage Cypherus, who asks, since we often have 2 or 3 wildcard seasonal banners every year, what concepts would I like to see either revisited or seen for the first time, and who would I like to see on these banners? So, that is a good question. I think that as far as a concept, like a wildcard concept, I would love to see the Picnic banner make a return. I think that those alts were very cute. Granted, maybe they weren't the most meta influential for the most part. They weren't really meta influential at all. But I would say that the concept was really cute, and I can see, certain characters making an appearance on a banner like that. The other one that I think is really unlikely, actually. I don't know. I kind of want to see a Cowboys banner, like Wild West themed. Again, I think that it's very unlikely, but I think it'd be a really funny concept, especially for what Faye is in terms of its universe. As far as wildcard seasonal banners that I would like to see, yeah, no, that actually about covers it. I'd like to see Picnic banners make a return. Maybe a Cowboy banner would be hilarious, and no, I am not talking about someone like Ash. That is not what I'm thinking at all. So thank you so much, Emerald Sage Cypherus, for that very good question. This next question is not Faye related, but it comes from Steve, and since I do play Pokemon, I wanted to mention it on this channel. And they ask, when do I think we'll finally get a good Pokemon game again? At the time of recording this video, Pokemon Legends Arceus actually has launched officially. And so I'm thinking I might want to say Legends Arceus is going to be that good game. I'm not entirely sure because I have not played it yet, but it looks incredibly promising. I cannot wait to play it. I'll actually be streaming it on my Twitch channel, which if you don't follow me on there already, you definitely should. I'd say it's a pretty good time. And you know, I got 100 subscribers on here. Why can't I have 100 followers on Twitch, right? Shameless plug out of the way, though. I think Legends Arceus is going to be a very good game because personally, I don't think we've gotten like a game that's been as well received since the likes of like Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver back in Generation 4. And we're in the in-between of Generations 8 and 9 right now. So I would say that Legends Arceus might have the promise to be that good Pokemon game that a lot of people have been craving for so much time. So Steve, thank you so much for that good question. I saw here on the list that you actually have another question that I personally thought was also really good. And it's, what sacred steel am I praying for oh, this is worded a little weirdly. Basically, what sacred seal am I hoping to see in the future? Don't get me wrong, I think this might be a bit of a weird one, but I think that an infantry pulse seal would be hilarious because that would allow, in theory at least, one character to provide 2 cooldown pulses to anyone with less HP than them. I think that it would be hilarious. It would bring infantry pulse setups to a whole new level, assuming they're not officially dead thanks to ELIMINE on Anima and Astra season. And I say that because, you know, a good friend of mine, Infantry Pulse, on YouTube, who you should go follow, he's freaking great. You know, they may see some struggle because of ELIMINE on those seasons. Wow, I am hoping, oops, didn't mean to skip that. I am hoping that I have enough orbs to spark. I should have enough orbs to spark for ELIMINE. I keep skipping, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be skipping, but I'm looking at the list and it doesn't seem like I have a lot more questions. Well, I do have one from Bazooka Pig. Favorite character is Lonku. He's actually had a question featured on a previous summoning video of mine. And Zook asks what I imagine Ascended Lonku would be like. And when I got this question, it did get me thinking of what concepts he would potentially have applied to him. My most likely thought is that he will get an Ascended Alt based on the Swordmaster garb. Oh, not a single colorless orb, are you kidding me? Just pity break me already, just pity break me. I don't like having pity rates after sparking, it just rubs me the absolute worst way possible. But back to the question, Ascended Lonku, what I think they would look like. The Swordmaster garb from Awakening I think is the most likely option. I did sort of stretch the idea a little bit, and I thought, even though it's not canon in the slightest to my knowledge, that he would have an outfit based on the outfits of Basilio or Flavia, the East and West Khans of Regna Ferox, because when you recruit him, he is up from Regna Ferox, right? So I think that you could stretch it a little bit and maybe be like, oh, he became one of the Khans of Regna Ferox. He's now wearing armor similar to Basilio or Flavia. I think that's a bit unlikely, but you know, I'd say the Swordmaster one would be the most likely, hopefully with a color palette that matches Lonku's base form in Fae. Now, I think that before I get to the last question that I'll have time to get to, I want to say this. If I get to Spark and don't get ELIMINE, I am going to Spark for her and nobody else. Not so much because, even though I said that I think she's absolutely disgusting, I am going to need her on bonus weeks. And since I have the opportunity to Spark for her, she's going to be my Spark if I don't somehow summon for her beforehand. If I do somehow get a copy of ELIMINE beforehand, my Spark is going to be between Ashera and Peony, or maybe if ELIMINE has a Res Bane, if I get her beforehand, then I'll summon for the ELIMINE merge. Got one colorless orb, unfortunately, but it is what it is. We are probably going to be sparking for ELIMINE on this video. But that being said, let's get to the last question that I'm going to have time to answer. Oh, we got Julia. Okay, I feel like this is... I know I said I didn't want a pity rate, but this is not what I meant. But that's okay. I don't have Julia built, and I honestly don't have any intention in building her. But that being said, she is plus HP minus res. If I don't build her, at least it's attack res oath or mirror impact fodder, which could see some use. I don't know. I'm not one to say anything about who's that gonna be useful or not. So, Julia Mom asks on my Discord server if anyone, so, because Silas is basically the king, or my favorite male character, who is my favorite female character in FEH? And not to steal the thunder of the legendary Phoenix Master 1, but I would have to say that Mercedes is one of my, if not my absolute favorite female character. The reason being that she is very much like the... It's like... how do I explain it? She's very much like the very devout religious girl in Three Houses. But she also has her funny moments, so she's not like one note in terms of her character. And she has these really funny moments with characters like Sylvain and Lorenz. It's absolutely hilarious. Plus, she is one of the bisexual characters in Fates, so she is also a queer icon. Not Fates, oh my gosh, in Three Houses. So she's also a queer icon, which that makes me love her even more. And then, you know, she's just also very caring, especially in the DLC when, well, not to spoil anything, wow, we really didn't. We really only got 5 stars this whole summoning session, did we? I fully forgot to react to Lowen. Special spiral fodder, really, because I have no real intention in building Lewin right now. But that's okay. But yeah, I would have to say that Mercedes is my favorite female character. With this being said, we're just gonna spark for ELIMINE. There's really no one else that I have any business sparking for. And if I'm not mistaken, we don't have a pity rate anymore thanks to that Julia. This shouldn't make it so... This shouldn't put me at 5 summons, which would up the pity rate again. So hopefully that is the case. So let's just grab ourselves ELIMINE and bounce. I'll build her over the course of the weekend because I do intend to stream Pokemon Legends Arceus for a good amount of time on my Twitch channel, which again, you should follow me on there if you haven't already. It would be very much appreciated. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. We got the ELIMINE, albeit at Spark. We got the Celestial Stone. And on top of everything else, we got to answer some really nice viewer questions. I'm really glad that people were getting involved on the Discord server. If you want to become a part of the community and want to maybe get a question featured on there, you should definitely join the Discord server. Link is going to be in the description below. So thank you all so much for tuning in to check out the summons for this Mythic banner. I'm not going to be summoning any more on there because really I'm trying to save Orbs. I'm going to try to save Orbs for February's legendary banner, not for the legendary, but because Corrin is going to be on there, and then I also want to get a copy of Legendary Fae to fodder to my current legendary Corrin merge project. So thank you all so much for joining in, and I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day.